Hey everybody, what's happening? Andy Irvine back here again. Today I'm going to talk to you and share a little bit more with you about my bubbling technique. It's a right hand thing that I like to do, and I got it from cats like Jocko and Rocco Prestia and many others. It's a style that it's a percussive right hand technique using short staccato notes, and it gives it that kind of bubbly, burpy kind of a sound that many people have incorporated into their playing over the years. And it's just a super funky way to play the bass, and I sure enjoy playing it or playing the bass like that. And it's a little bit harder to explain than some of the other techniques, because you really kind of got to wrap your ears around it and kind of hear where it's coming from. There's a lot of little subtle ghost noting and little subtle glissando in there. If you can sing it with your mouth, and then you'll be able to play it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the basic outline of it, and I'm gonna show it to you real slow and real up close. And then I'm going to play it with the groove and just kind of improvise on it, and hopefully you can gain something from it, and you could have some fun trying to dig on this this bubbling technique. We'll be in the key of E. All right. So I'm gonna start on the 7th fret of the A string, and then I'm going to do this little climb up going from D up to the E. And like so. Actually, I'm going to do an octave. That's like the basic outline. Oops. Here I'm putting that ghost note in front there, that dead note. I do a triplet of all ghost notes there. Triplet of ghost notes. So that'll be the first move. That'll be the first kind of box that we'll be kind of funking in, that E major, leading with a major third. And every once in a while I'll go up to that little guy. This is going to be, now we're on the 4 chord. that triplet again of ghost notes. I do that all the time. I really dig that triplet thing. I don't know who doesn't. Then I'm going to go up to the 5 chord, which is going to be B. I'm pretty much doing the same pattern on all 3 chords, and then I'll get my way back. I'll get my way back to the top of the little chord progression. So we're just going from the 1 to the 4, then to the 5. Simple as can be. And in terms of harmony, the rhythm is a little bit tricky on this one, but if you listen to it and really kind of wrap your ears around it and start to try and extract them sounds, there's a little bit of that little glissando stuff. Hear those broop, broop, broop? Those little glissandos are key. They're a key element. They're little glissandos, but they're short ones. Brr, 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 brr. All right, and then the little short little notes. And you're kind of choking them out with the left hand, only letting them ring for a split second. Remembering to incorporate some of your ghost notes. And those little glissandos, and it just falls into a rhythmic, a bubbly rhythmic place, and I call it bubbling. I'm gonna put on this funky groove, and we'll see what we can see if we can keep it rolling here. You know, the idea of all this stuff is just not to be perfect. You know, nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. The idea is to just make progress. It's about progress, not perfection. So you start and you put on a groove here and you commit to a tempo and you just do your best to lock into it and keep up with it. And the more you do it, the longer you're able to sustain a groove. Especially, when you start to get into some of these grooves, it's pretty intense. It's not simple. It's there's a lot going on. It's for me, I'm playing it a lot by feel. I'm not really overly analytical about it, but in order to explain it and to try and help someone else learn how to do it, I have to be able to explain it a little bit. It is a lot. It has to do with feel, but it comes from repetition and practicing. And I have these drum loops here. And, I've made it public recently that if anybody wants any of these drum loops, I have about 65 super funky drum loops that I'll be happy to hook you up with. All you have to do is send me your email in a private message on Facebook or to my email address, which is andyirvine.ai@gmail.com, and I'll hook you up with all these grooves that I'm using. And that's where you can, you sink in, you lock into that, and you'll find some improvement in your grooving. I'm sure you will. Back it up. So you see, it's all about those triplets and those ghost notes. You know, that back of the thing really fits in well there with that bubbling technique, and I hope you can have some fun with that, and you know, enjoy the process of getting into some funky bubbling, and we'll talk to you real soon. Peace.